Yes, I
This
did.
conference will now be recorded.
I'll make you a presenter so that you can.
এই তাতাই 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 প্লিজ দরজাটা বন্ধ কর, লাইভ হচ্ছে।
This conference will now be recorded.
Facebook. Welcome to Dr. TSPR show. This is Dr. Tangella Shiva Prasad Reddy alias Dr. TSPR. Namaste, Adab, hello, and a warm welcome to our eternal good friend of late, Dr. Gautam Das. He states himself just to be a physician from Kolkata. And very clinically, in a physician way, he is going to demolish, as he has been doing, the myth surrounding the public health. Sir, welcome to the special show once again.
Namaskar.
Wonderful guests adoring this show. Let me just give a glimpse of what the purpose of the show, before I let Dr. Gautam Das to go ahead with this. One of the best powerful presentations. I think you'll all enjoy it. Don't go away. As usual, let me just show up certain things which I've already lined it for you in consonance with the spirit of today's show. Yeah, here it is. This show is necessitated because who is calling the shots and why? Is there any purpose? Is there any purpose? Here is, I'm just giving you a Telugu brief. How widely, rightly, I'm just trying to read. 2024 వరకు కరోనా మహమ్మారి అంతం కాదని ప్రముఖ ఫార్మా కంపెనీ ఫైజర్ అంచనా వేసింది. అయితే 2024 నాటికి ప్రపంచవ్యాప్తంగా మహమ్మారి ఎండ్ స్టేజ్ కి వస్తుందని ఫైజర్ చీఫ్ సైంటిఫిక్ ఆఫీసర్ మైకేల్ చెప్పారు. ఇది కొత్త వేరియంట్లు, దానిపై వ్యాక్సిన్ల ప్రభావం వాటిపై ఆధారపడి ఉంటుందని. Here what is states, Dr. Gautam Das, this is, I picked it up from the public, it is in circulation. The Pfizer chief scientific officer Michael states that this pandemic will be there till 2024, different variants, and it depends on how the vaccines will work to end. And another 2 years, the pandemic effects will be so severe. Now, what can we say? Who the hell these fellows are? That is the reason why today's show is more important. That is why Dr. Gautam Da, he has come back with a powerful evidence to silence all these fellows who are trying to frighten. Who the hell they are? How can they profess? Is it life or a machine which we are dealing with? Come on, WHO to CDC, FDA, all state governments or provinces, union governments or federal governments, and all scientific bodies across the world, we are warning you. Don't mess up with lives and livelihoods. We are not machines. What the hell you are trying to create? Is it a scientific narrative? How the hell you allow these fellows to run away with the health of people? In the word itself, public health. Is it your health? Our health? Everyone's health. Public health. So every citizen needs to be informed, not ill-informed, not to be imposed, not to create fear psychosis, but issue, the health issue, whether it is pandemic, endemic, any disease, whether it is prevention or treatment or otherwise, you should base it on science, logic, and evidence. That is what matters a lot. Then this nonsense. You see how the media Omicron and Delta could combine to form a super strain. What is this nonsense going on? And if we are doctors into journalism, your gut feeling when say just go and ask those people who have been coined this term, what is the gut feeling? What does your gut have? Gut has crores and crores of bacteria, viruses, parasites. Go and ask them why the hell you are threatening and frightening for the sake of your own. You will be challenged. Don't forget what that
This
universal.
should be called a newsroom variant. This should be called a newsroom variant. And I think a fictitious vaccine will soon be in the market against this fictitious variant.
Wonderful. And now you see this one. How these WHO's fellows, how this, see, I'm quoting all these evidences only. I picked up from the media. Covovax, Serum Institute's COVID vaccine cleared by WHO. Now you see the World Health Organization has granted emergency approval. Still emergency. Shame on it. 2 years now. You are still saying emergency. The World Organization has granted emergency approval to Covovax, Serum Institute of India's version of the Novavax COVID vaccine. What is this, Dr. G? I don't understand.
It appears that who has become a one-stop shop for all these vaccine makers. And it has become a single window operation. You just go and get the clearance from the counter.
And who that fellow is? Who is that fellow, lady? What is this? Vaccines, prevention. They have to prevent transmission. Where is the data? Where is the trial data, my dear WHO? And when a company goes and just submit something, how the hell you are trying? Where is the data? Safety, efficacy, immunogenicity, peer review. How long and how many people they have done? Where they have done? What is this nonsense going on? We have been questioning the first generation vaccines of the same data till now. That is obsolete. That is why they are using emergency use. How long emergency? If you have been using vaccines, first dose, second dose, you have seen Israel, rest of the world, Pathanamthitta in Kerala. Then why?
It is not the emergency, it is the urgency.
Urgency for people to make
on the
money.
part of the people who are trying to grab the market of vaccine. I think it is. It is the urgency on that part. There is no obvious emergency. That is quite clear.
Big word from Dr. Da. No obvious emergency, but urgency to make money at the cost of sufferings of people. Not just health-wise, their livelihoods also. They will be cursed souls, believe me, whoever is indulging. If governments cannot come to the rescue, people will not. Just simply idle it out. Now you see the biggest exposure. I'm putting it to you.
And this aspect of livelihood and human lives, I think they come at the last of their count. They count it at last in their considerations. I don't think they take it into consideration at all.
But people will make them. Now you see this. Pfizer says antiviral pill cut hospitalization by 89%, neutralized Omicron in lab tests. Now you tell me that. When did Omicron come out? Where did they perform this test? What the hell is happening to the world? United States of America. There's all lot of people happening in your country.
Who told them to neutralize it? What is the point of neutralizing it? Because the virus goes away. It passes off without any major illness. Most of the cases are mild. Even there is no case of hospitalization. There is no case of death except a dubious one that happened in England.
So
even
that is
the
a
site
big
of origin. Yes.
That is a big news from Da, except the dubious death of Omicron which happened in England, which is yet to be confirmed. As likewise, we have been demanding all the governments across the globe. How many people have been really become sick and died because of original COVID-19? Kindly give us the data. What were the symptoms with which they were admitted to hospital, first wave, second wave, or third wave? And what is the treatment? What is the treatment and why the treatment? Is it not the side effects or drug trials of such treatment? Or were there any comorbidities? Or simply fear psychosis? Or because of the bacteria or viruses, whatever present in the hospital, that led into secondary infection after being suppressed by these drug trials? What is that? Did you conduct autopsy? Where is the report? Where is the data? First of all, first generation vaccines, you have been using it for Delta variant. Why did Delta variant happen in spite of your vaccination? Is it not immunoescape? That means your vaccines have not worked. Your vaccinations have interfered with the natural immunity. Is that not the reason why this virus mutated into Delta, now into Omicron? Is it not a fact that only vaccinated people were allowed to fly between the countries? That means Omicron was carried by those vaccinated. Israel is a big proof, 2.5 crore people. Only those with natural immunity could escape hospitalization, infections with 17 times more robust natural immunity than others. In India, we are already into the, what should I say, herd immunity status. This transmission is happening across the borders, but still we are not acknowledging it. What is this happening? And now again I have seen, oh, this one also. This all I'm trying to open. That's some technical. Oh, let me just open. See, White House, the unvaccinated are looking at a winter of severe illness and death. White House, what the hell is this happening to the world? Come on, yeah, United States of America citizens, rise above this, all this. Who is this White House? What is this happening? Is this health, science? What is this? They just leave a statement and everyone follows the suit. How can a learned society like America can cave in? The unvaccinated are looking at a winter of severe illness and death. White House, I am demanding and asking White House, CDC, FDA, what is that you got about of 2.5 crore vaccinated data from Israel and your own data in America? You are on your own, you have admitted, we have even made live shows with your own data. How are you ignoring? Is it not a fact that you came to a close conclusion that natural immunity is the best one over and above this? And if such is the case, White House, why still emergency? While under emergency use authorization, why are you allowing these vaccine manufacturers to continue to inoculate? Why are you using public money? Why there is no liability and compensation, White House? How long this will go on? You are not only destroying Americans, but you are trying to create a fear psychosis in the entire world. That is the reason why we had to make this as a headline. That is the reason why today's show. Who is
Mr. Reddy,
messing up?
at this
Please
point,
wait.
we should remind our viewers that this is a great lie and the opposite of the truth that they are telling, because the recent researches published in European Journal of Epidemiology has clearly said that they have studied the cases in more than 2,000 counties of America, and they have clearly showed that the counties where the rate of vaccination is high, the number of cases are also rising, including the number of hospitalization and death. It shot up from 0.9 to 9% in case of hospitalization and from almost 0% to 15% death in case of who are doubly vaccinated. So there is a growing concern that why are the cases of death and hospitalization increasing with a high rate of vaccinations? So what they are dishing out through their media outlets that unvaccinated are causing the new wave of epidemic, it is a sheer lie. It is just opposite of the truth.
It is just opposite of the truth. The White House reeling out such, and the learned society like America keeping quiet and just submitting themselves. And here is another one. The dramatic increase in COVID-19 cases from the Omicron variant is concerning to all. However, these data showing that the currently authorized Moderna COVID booster can boost neutralizing antibody levels 37-fold higher than pre-boost levels are reassuring. Stephen Bankel, Moderna CEO. And what should we do with this, gentlemen? So blatantly, where is the data? Mr. Stephen Bankel, come on, share the data with us. When did you find Omicron? And what happened with your earlier first generation vaccine?
These are the
Now you are-
simple marketing strategy of pushing some product in the market. The market,
yeah, please go ahead.
this is simple marketing strategy. If you cannot convince the people, you confuse the people. That is the strategy.
Very well said. If you cannot convince the people, you confuse the people. Here is a lie, biggest lie.
This is a known strategy of the pharma companies. When they deal with the patients or they deal with the doctors, they adopt this strategy.
If you cannot convince, you confuse the people. So I hope all the citizens of the world will awake and understand what is the truth behind all this. The more of the chemical untested, under trial, without liability, without compensation, even after 2 years, almost close to 2 years, still under emergency use authorization. Now you understand. That is the reason why. Who is messing up? Is it WHO, or who is messing up? All people like these pharmacy giants, are they messing up with our public health? What is the way forward? That is the topic of today. That is why we are just bringing out all this data. And this is another one they're trying to, not one, another one, last one. The Delhi Chief Minister appealing to the Center for booster doses. Now you see this. How strange. See, Delhi prepared for Omicron, center start boosters. Arvind Kejriwal. What should we say? So, horrible state of affairs, to which what I wrote, see, all political parties across the globe have become one in injecting under trial, untested, no
They
liability,
pretend to be the messiah of the people.
in our bodies.
They pretend to be the messiah of the people. They're appealing as if they are appealing for relief. That is quite nonsense. That is not why the public health goes. That is not why, that is not how the public health is actually get implemented. No, not that.
Not that. So what I wrote was, to this Kejriwal's this thing, booster first and second dose immunity, what happened? Vaccines prepared from COVID-19 first generation. What happened to natural immunity then? Then I reminded him, Delhi serological study on community transmission herd immunity. That is what we have been quoting. But
Yes,
is the Honorable Chief Minister not aware of the serological study done in Delhi? You just pick up and just speak like that? What is this? Are you dealing with lives or livelihoods? Then I asked him, emergency situation still, in spite of first dose, second dose, again you are asking for a booster. And again you are preparing yourself for Omicron. The Omicron discoverer itself came on the show and said it is very mild. And today also they have sent the data, 91% of hospitalization has declined after Omicron. What would you say, Honorable Chief Minister? Are you not being given proper data by your officials?
I think they should be better informed. What are the people doing? What are the advisors are doing? They should better inform their chief minister.
Yeah. Is it not forcing public money? This could have been diverted for various other issues, whether it is to create livelihood or for other dangerous diseases like tuberculosis, malaria, dengue, and accidents, whatnot, malnutrition. Is it not? Am I not right, Arvind Kejriwal ji? If you are wrong, you are most welcome to appear on our show, sir. We will welcome you wholeheartedly. Gautam Da will be there. What, sir? We will debate.
Yes, I will try to convince him. We will try to convince him
with evidences.
So that he can do more good for the people.
That's what. You are trying to project yourself as an alternative.
Yes,
Arvind Kejriwal ji. We and Dr. Gautam Da, we will try to convince you with science, logic and evidences. Kindly come and appear on the show. But don't make headlines like this as White House has been doing. We expect a lot from a party like you.
We want him to good more for the people, not the harm.
Yeah. The medical ethics, Arvind Kejriwal ji, do no harm. Kindly understand, whoever has been advising you, let them be reminded. Ethics clearly states medical do no harm. Even if you do no good, kindly do no harm. Again, I have been asking him, how can you promote these vaccines under trial, under test vaccines with the public money, and still there is no liability and compensation? Why are you not asking for it, Arvind Kejriwal ji? And if the vaccines were proved to be effective, then Delta, now Omicron, Is it not a fact? Then why are you vouching for these vaccines, Arvind Kejriwal ji? Only vaccinated were allowed to fly. I said again, I asked Honorable Delhi CM, which disease is more fatal and dangerous in India? Is it corona or viral encephalitis, TB, malaria, dengue, typhoid, etc.? Do US, Europe, others suffer from TB, malaria? Do they have mosquitoes and flies there? Honorable CM Arvind Kejriwal ji, in whose interest all this is being done? And what is the corona fatality rate? Is it not true that WHO and all others clearly stated 99.9% recover on their own without any treatment? If we are wrong, prove us correct. Prove us wrong. We are inviting you. And we have quoted even the 17 times Israel studies natural immunity, robust immunity. Why Delhi and AAP not promoting AP, Andhra Pradesh High Court cleared Anand Daya's Ayurveda medicine whose ingredients effects are very well known in the public domain? And what about similar naturopathy and many other indigenous systems? Why are you ignoring it, Arvind Kejriwal ji? Why are you ignoring it? Public health and public have no information. Right to life and health, don't you think it's a fundamental aspect? Elections gatherings or other meetings of yours, wherever you go, you have been touring around. Did you find any corona case there, Arvind Kejriwal ji? All of a sudden, why this new drama? As and when people want to go out for schools, Christmas celebrations, another festivals or marriage time, how are you creating this panic? And Honorable CM, lives and livelihoods matter. I only hope Aam Aadmi Party will come out clean. That is the reason why today's debate is more important.
I wonder whether these new variants are more political than the politicians themselves.
I think new variants are more political than the original politicians themselves. That is the reason why this caring attitude of politicians on a virus which left alone doesn't need any medication in 99.99% cases. Yes, sir, you are a presenter. Kindly go ahead. And now I hope why this discussion I have laid the base for the entire world. Yes, sir, please go ahead.
Just a minute.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm trying to enlarge it.
I hope Arvind Kejriwal ji and Aam Aadmi Party are listening to this. We want them to come on live, prove that how many deaths because of corona. Where is the data? After effects of these vaccinations, where is the data? Is it not placebo for own higher up, all those VVIPs and candidate vaccine for innocent Indians? Come up, sir. Prove us wrong. Prove us wrong.
Has the screen come? No.
Not yet, sir. You share it. It has not yet come.
I have shared. Not yet come. Then what to do?
Then again, I'll do one thing.
Is it there? Is it there?
Oh, you are the presenter now. Yeah, now you go ahead.
Now, is it there in the screen?
Yes, yes, now it has come up. Yes, now you can enlarge the screen. Go to slide.
Just I have to.
Reminder to all political parties, not just in India, across the globe. This is not the way. You cannot mess up with public health. Who has given you this right? Every common man is questioning you this day. That is the reason why we have come up with this topic. How can you mess up public health? Who is World Health Organization? Day in and day out, they keep on changing. Every now and then. Since our show started, when we pointed out which is dangerous, tuberculosis or malaria, they came out stating that because of corona, tuberculosis as well as malaria were out of focus. That is how 42% went undetected and how dangerous they are. TB 100 years vaccine, BCG vaccine, still when people suffer, 120 are dying in spite of treatment, in spite of vaccine. What about this just 5 months old vaccine? And that too for a disease which can be cured on its own. Yes, sir, please. Go ahead.
We are at the threshold of a new year, 2022. The picture being shown here may be a little bit confusing for the viewer because it is difficult to assume whether the moon is going up or is being pulled down.
Wonderful.
This picture was published in the front page of a Malaysian newspaper proclaiming the cancellation of New Year celebration due to Omicron scare. So, we are ushering in New Year 2022 with many worries. We are worried that the media hyperbole is again functioning with full steam. In all probability, the reenactment of the drama that we have witnessed during this period last year will be before us. There is clamoring about the booster doses, and it is being propagated that this Omicron variant, which is actually very mild, least lethal, without any news of informations of death or hospitalizations, they propagate that the powerful propaganda machine, they're allowed to propagate that this will sweep across the world and will wreak havoc. We are also worried by the fact that some powerful quarters, including some from medical fraternity, they are pitching for vaccinating the children and young adults below 18. So these are the examples of the fear campaign that is probably going to be unfolded within weeks or days. In contrast to the worries, we have also hopes flickering on the horizon. I will come to that optimistic part in later part of my talk. For now, just I want to tell, in contrast to the cacophony of very noisy anchors presenting in the national channels, fear mongering, we are hopeful about this anchor, Mr. Shiva Prasad Reddy, Tengala Shiva Prasad Reddy, who is relentlessly fighting against all odds to bring some sanity in the public discourse about the public health. So, primary focus of our talk will be on public health. Why? Because public health impacts everyone's life, and it will be impacting our lives with even more intensity in the coming days. And public health, what is public health? Public health should involve the wish of the public, the consent of the public, the opinion of the public. Without the opinion of the public health can become a tyranny. Public health is not something that can be imposed upon by the authorities, or people can be punished for violating one or other health measures. Public health should not be running after a particular disease, overlooking the others, or at the cost of disease burden or death burden of other killer diseases. Public health should be based on scientific, rational, and common sense. That is why our discussion will be on public health, and we should remind our authorities again and again the forgotten principles of public health and the flawed policies that are crushing our lives. What is public health? I understand that People have good reason to be angry with the modern medical science. Why? Because this industrialized modern medical science, corporatized medicine has done many injustice to the people. But we should not forget that problem lies not with the science. The problem was created by the medical industrial complex, by greedy corporates. They have turned a beautiful science into a tool of profit making. Profit making is not seen as such, but it should be governed by some civilized rules. The history of public health is as old as the modern medical science. Both were born, grew, and evolved almost simultaneously. This fact is exemplified by Dr. Rudolf Virchow. He was a German physician, a revolutionary, a social reformer, a public health pioneer, and he was also the father of modern pathology. In early 19th century, when typhus epidemic erupted in today's Austria, he went there and investigated and wrote a book, and that work is still regarded as the foundational work of public health. He famously told, and one more thing is very important to know about Virchow, that he vehemently opposed the germ theory of Robert Koch and Louis Pasteur. He was of opinion that it is not the germs or pathogens that cause disease. It is the imbalance of the internal and external environment of the human body that facilitates the functioning of the germs or pathogen. So he emphasized that the roots of many diseases, most of the diseases, killer diseases, are rooted in the society, not only in the human body. That is how the concept of public health evolved. And Dr. Rudolf Virchow famously said that medicine is a social science and politics is nothing else but medicine on a large scale. With this idea of public health, in order to strengthen the concept of public health, to implement it all over the world on a scientific basis, to help the member countries to respond effectively in time of emergencies, World Health Organization was formed. But what is its history? What does its history tell us? World Health Organization started being mired in controversies after controversies. Many corrupt practices came to the surface from the 90s. Fiona Godley, she was the assistant editor of British Medical Journal. She wrote a scathing article, an investigating article in in British Medical Journal. The title was WHO in Crisis. And she made a very interesting and curious comment about the WHO. She said, the World Health Organization has an image problem. Image problem is there that we know very much now, but 30 years back, almost 3 decades back, it was well known to the people, conscious people, that World Health Organization has an image problem. People know that it exists. Most people know that it eradicated smallpox, but few have clear idea what it does. Now we know what it does, what it can do, how it can do. And we know now, after 3 decades, problem lies in towing billionaire donors' dictate and acting against the principles of public health. You may ask, how can you say that? And this is the answer to your puzzle. Since the 90s, the financial structure of WHO has become changed. Mainly private donors, agencies were running the WHO from behind the screen. You can see from this slide that Gates Foundation's Gavi, both are run by, a billionaire leader who is also a prophet because he predicted correctly the coming of this epidemic. Under his leadership, this Gates Foundation and Gavi contribute more than any other member countries. They are the largest donor of WHO. Don't get mistaken by the fact that they donate. This BMGF, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundations, they have clearly said that they never donates money, they invest. So they have invested in WHO. Here you can see Ms. Godley clearly clarified that these donors wanted WHO to shift focus from the very essential programs of the developing countries and refocus on some areas that will be lucrative for them, that will create market for them. And thus, the function of WHO as a guardian of public health has been degenerated to this level. So the major determinants of health, which is poverty, education and development and environment, which was the integral part of any WHO programs, which became vanished and become beyond the scope of WHO. So this is the legacy of WHO, and quite expectedly, it culminated into a mysterious, you can call it a scam also, if you like so. Why? In 2009, suddenly and secretly, WHO has changed the definition of pandemic. The question is, what provoked them to change the definition of pandemic? Describing this, Peter Doshi, the deputy editor of British Medical Journal, wrote in 2010 in British Medical Journal an article, The Elusive Definition of Pandemic Influenza. He said that some people argued that not only was the definition changed, but that it was done to pave the way for declaring pandemic. So for the sake of declaring H1N1, they have changed the definition of pandemic. How? They have dropped the phrase that enormous numbers of death and illness. This part has been dropped, removed from the original definition so that it can fit into the narrative of H1N1 influenza have gone endemic. Why? Who stands benefited by this sudden change in the definition? Very interesting fact is that during that period, some representatives of British Medical Journal and some investigative journalists of Britain. They wanted to investigate into the case. They questioned the WHO officials. Who are the key scientists who guided WHO in changing the definition? Who were they? It was found that they were on the payroll of big pharma companies who produced Tamiflu antivirus. So there was clear case of conflict of interests. And when they pointed to this conflict of interests, WHO officials labeled them as the pursuant of conspiracy theories. So my friends, conspiracy theory, the epithet of conspiracy theorist is nothing new. It was used decades back by the WHO. Why? To silence the critic and to dismiss any queries on their functioning. This happened 10 years back. And this sudden change of definition forced many countries to stockpile this antivirus, Tamiflu, Zanamivir, etc. So that was the role of WHO. And quite true to the tradition, WHO got their knee-jerk reaction and told the people that another epidemic or pandemic has broken out and it will going to devastate the entire humanity. See, this is how the drama unfolded. 21st January 2020, WHO said at least some human-to-human transmission. Follow the chronology. 30th January, within 9 days, they declared it fake, public health emergency of international concern. Within 9 days, they were convinced that it has become so bigger in intensity and magnitude that they declared it a public health emergency of international concern. 6th March, within less than 3 months, they have understood that its fatality is 3 to 4%. In a month of April, by some studies, notably by Professor Ioannidis, we came to know that this was a quite exaggeration, ridiculously exaggerated figure, because the fatality rate was found to be 0.23, a whole world average. And it came down to less than 0.1 in Asian and African countries. 11th March, the pandemic was declared. The much awaited event happened. On 16th March, they have raised hue and cry, whipped up contract tracing. The idea of contract tracing, test. The Director General said that now is the time to test. Then followed by social distancing, masking, and masking the healthy people. I think probably it is for the first time in history, World Health Organization and other public health regulators all over the world, they have imposed this dicta on the people. In all these activities without any scientific rationale, there are obvious violations of principles of public health and medical science. Positive RT-PCR test was labeled as a case. This goes against the very basic principle of medical science, because mere positive RT-PCR test or any test for the matter cannot be a case. Why? Because a positive case, if it is associated with the presence and multiplication of pathogen, it becomes an infection. An infection plus signs and symptoms becomes a case. So they have weaved a false narrative regarding a case, and that is how they were able to pile up the number of cases. Asymptomatic cases are super spreader. Such illusory false narratives were propagated none other than by the WHO. Asymptomatic cases are super spreader. That is a lie. I have already told infection fatality at 3 to 4%. It was proved wrong. Testing and contract tracing. Every public health strategist or experts of epidemiology knows very well that when once the community transmission sets in, this contract tracing is pointless, useless, and is the cause of unnecessary scare, because it is applicable only when there is an area, defined geographic area of infection, and there is other areas which are virgin, which have not seen that virus earlier. And there is a clear-cut demarcation between the two geographic areas. That is where testing and contract testing may apply, but they try to apply it all over without any justification. Healthy people were forced to wear masks without telling the people that wearing masks for a certain period, for more than a certain period, under certain condition, clinical conditions, it might be harmful for the wearer of the mask. And then came the lockdown, unknown, unprecedented in medical history, even not known in any medical literature, in epidemiological book. This lockdown was never mentioned. It was mentioned in a Rockefeller literature called lockstep, and they have invented this idea of locking up the people to prevent the transmission of infection, and it was clear that it was not a medical recommendation, never came from any recognized medical body. So it is still a mystery who has advised our governments to impose lockdown. We do not know. We came to know that it is UN that has directed our governments to lock down. What is the jurisdiction of UN to take such a harsh and destructive public health measure? This is still a question, still alive, refused to die down, because the specter of lockdown has not gone away. It may come back. So we should be aware of its futility, and it is without any scientific basis. And during the lockdown, we know that there was collapse of total health structure, public health structure, and people died not due to COVID, but they died many avoidable deaths due to other diseases because of the collapse of the health structure. And one more important thing is that there was diversion of resources, because in India, the health structure, public health structure, has been languishing in rickety state for a very long time. On top of that, when the COVID-19 came, every attention was focused on it. Not only that, the resources were diverted. We know that 40% of TV program resources were diverted to the COVID-19. As a result, 41% detection of cases of TB are down in the year 2020. And there is a possibility that 4.8 lakh additional deaths due to TB will be happening in coming 5 years. That is a great tragedy that could have been avoided. Now, we all know that after the fear campaign, WHO and other regulators all over the world switched their gear to vaccination mode. And they presented the vaccines as the only panacea to the killer epidemic. I say the killer epidemic because it was a false narrative. It was propagated by the WHO, which was not the case at all. But they presented it to be a lethal because that was necessary for pushing for the vaccines. But media was rife with speculations that the asymptomatic people might have weaker antibodies, weaker immunity level, they will be requiring vaccines, and the natural immunity will be fragile, so the vaccine is needed. And many scientific journals were also there to justify these irrational assertions. But now the picture is quite clear because of the great works of many scientists, researchers all over the world. One of them was an Israeli team of scientists led by Sivan Gazit. He published this journal, peer-reviewed journal, and he studied clearly said that natural immunity is longer lasting, 13 to 27 times longer lasting and stronger than the vaccine induced immunity. So what is WHO doing? Why WHO is not propagating the fact? Why they are not making the people aware of these great informations that could dispel the fear of the people? But they didn't. They call the people who are questioning the efficacy of vaccines, the adverse effect of vaccines, the hesitant. Any questioning or critique against vaccine amounts to vaccine hesitancy. But clearly they have hesitancy to call spade a spade. They fail to recognize the utility of natural immunity, the robustness. They didn't. Now, very interesting thing. We all know that Dr. Peter Doshi, the deputy editor of British Medical Journal, has recently said in public that CDC has changed the definition of vaccine. Why? Because according to previous definition, the mRNA products which are supposed to be vaccine could not fit into the definition of vaccine. They should have been tagged as drug. See, CDC changed the definition of vaccine. You can see the date of changing. How did they change? When did they change? In 2018, before the vaccine came, before the epidemic broke out, the definition was like this. Vaccine is a product that stimulates immune system to produce immunity to a specific disease. Very important. Please note it. That produces immunity to a specific disease, and immunity means protection from an infectious disease. That is what a vaccine is supposed to do. But does this vaccine protect someone from getting infected? Does this vaccine stop the transmission? No. Even the manufacturers clearly said no. then what does it do? It reduces, it is claimed to reduce hospitalization and death. Then what is it? Is it a drug? See, how did they change? They have changed the definition of vaccine. They said stimulate the body's immune response. Stimulate, not produce immunity. What is the difference? What are the nuances in it? It is that
Notorious.
vaccine is supposed to, now by the new definition, stimulate the body's immune response. Stimulation doesn't guarantee protection. Stimulation may be beneficial, it may be harmful. If your stimulation goes in favor of you, you will be saved. If the stimulation goes against you, you may be killed. And that is what has been noticed in the 1.5 decade trial of these mRNA vaccines. In most of the cases, the animals in the preclinical trials, animals were sacrificed because of the emergence of ADE. ADE means antibody dependent enhancement. It means when the vaccinated animals were challenged with the wild virus, almost all of them succumbed. It is a phenomenon that happens due to overreaction of our immune response. So if that happens, then again, it can be called a vaccine. That is why and how they changed the definition of vaccine to fit all these mRNA products into the category of vaccine.
Big exposure. Big exposure.
Again, as our anchor has shown us at the outset, that some people are again scaremongering about the epidemic of unvaccinated. The same question was asked by Peter Doshi. Where is the wave of epidemic due to unvaccinated? Where is the proof? They don't care really about any proof. Actually, the proof proves the opposite. It is not the wave of epidemic due to unvaccinated. It is the wave of epidemic of the vaccinated. This is what the Israeli studies clearly showed to the world, that 60% of the, in spite of the fact that 60% of the population was fully vaccinated by 2 doses, again, 90% of the populations were getting hospitalized, shown that they were already vaccinated. So it was the resurgence of infections in the case of vaccinated. But they went on continuing the vaccinations. And again, it is a genuine question in the sphere of public health. Why do you vaccinate en masse against a disease which has been endemic? In India, the COVID-19 has already become endemic. It is not only said by us, it is not only said by Professor Amitabh Banerjee and others. It was said by none other than Dr. Gagandeep Kang. She is a member of COVID working group. And she has said it in a newspaper that India is now in endemic stage. What does it mean? Endemic infections mean that we have to live with the virus probably for the rest of our life, as we do with other endemic diseases like influenza virus, malaria, typhoid, dengue, and other viruses. Do we go for mass vaccination for all these endemic diseases? No, we do not. We are not nonsense people. We do not do that. Then why should we do the same thing, same nonsense thing against the COVID-19? No answer. Another disturbing, shocking facts are coming out. It is very disturbing because, see, the European Medicine Agency's website that tracks the adverse effects due to vaccination, ultravigilance, very recent exposure that almost 18,920 people, 8 people are dead due to vaccine adverse reactions. And they will definitely claim that, yeah, what is the proof that these deaths were due to vaccines? But it cannot undeniable fact that these deaths happened following COVID-19 vaccinations. It is a huge number. Same thing is reflected in the VAERS data. It is the USA website, open for all, visible to the people, and people can go and register their adverse events, even death, in this site. For long, we have been demanding such thing in the line of VRS in India, but nobody is paying heed to us. The data is again shocking, disturbing. It shows that in last 30 years, out of all the vaccine adverse effects, 52% of all these events, adverse events that happened over last 30 years following vaccinations have been seen in last 11 months. Can you imagine the magnitude of the tragedy, the human tragedy? And vaccine is given to healthy people, not sick people. We should remember the vaccines are not given to sick people, it is given to the healthy people. And another important fact that I want to point out that in India, this number of deaths and serious adverse events following vaccination, immunization is not minuscule. That is what they try to impress upon us. It is nothing, it is negligible. No, it is not minuscule. The government has told the Supreme Court, they have submitted in the Supreme Court that the serious side effects, including death, less than 0.01%. Another play of words, less than. I think you can remember, while preaching about the efficacy of vaccine, they always tell more than 90%, more than 95%, more than 100%, whatever they like, they tell. But in case of adverse effects due to vaccines or death due to vaccines, they prefer to use the phrase less than. Yes, this is the bias that we are pointing out. It is less than. And it is less than means what? If it is near about 0.01%, it is near about 1 in 1,000, 10 in 10,000. And they have claimed that they have already vaccinated 1 crore doses. With 1 crore doses, mind it. So it could be a formidable number. So, and in respect to that, I want to remind our viewers that before the rollout of the vaccine, when the vaccines was approved by the highest regulatory authority, DCGI, what did he tell to the press? In the press meet, he told that this vaccine is 110% safe. Now our question is, will he come forward and own the responsibility of what he has told? Because we can presume that, believing in his argument, assurance, people went to get vaccinated and some of them tragically died. And they have paid heavy price with their life. Will he take his moral and ethical responsibility? This is our question to the highest authorities, especially the drug control authorities. So another interesting aspect that we should not gloss over, when there are only tens of deaths and few hundreds of cases in Europe, who was so perturbed that they declared it within 9 days, COVID-19 is a fake public health emergency of international concern. So our question is, when deaths are happening in not hundreds, in thousands and thousands, is it not the public health emergency of international concern? Why is WHO silent? Why is WHO silent? It is WHO's duty, who is supposed to sound the alarm to make the people aware, but it didn't. Now it has joined the bandwagon of propagating the virtues of and necessity of booster doses. Quite shameful. Now another example of who double speak and double deal. You see, when it comes to the deaths following vaccination, they say death or hospitalization cannot be automatically assumed to be due to it. Yes, very prudent argument. It cannot be automatically assumed. But where was your prudence? Where was your prudence? When you labeled every kind of death due to COVID, you see, the diagnosis of death was also changed by who? You can see the highlighted part in this slide, that when the test is negative, one death can be diagnosed to be due to COVID-19. When the test is negative, it was diagnosed to be a case of COVID-19. Strange. Due to what? What is the ground? Clinically and epidemiologically. Was there any specific clinical feature which is very specific for the COVID-19? No, there was none. And what sort of these crazy things like telling epidemiological diagnosis? Probably first time in history, the individual case of death was diagnosed to be some epidemiological reason. Such craziest things has never been witnessed in history. Now, over the last 15 days, what we have seen, another very interesting turn of history unfolding before us. Within just 10 to 15 days, every big media houses started clamoring almost simultaneously. It appears that there must be a well-coordinated effort. Otherwise, it can't happen all over the world suddenly and within the same time window. Nature on 2nd December said Omicron is supercharging the COVID vaccine booster debate. Now, and within few days, probably on 9th, the WHO Director General said Omicron spreading at unprecedented, wrong to think it is causing mild disease. And act now to curb Omicron spread. On 19th, Pfizer CEO, he came and said, Omicron variant could win 4th vaccine dose needed sooner than expected. Strange. The same CEO, I think we can remember, the same CEO made millions of dollars the day when he proclaimed the efficacy of his brand of vaccine. Everybody knows. Even it was reported in Forbes magazine that the same day he made millions. And in the press release, he said that it was a great day for mankind. It was actually a great day for people like him. So what can we conclude from this functioning of WHO, from these omissions and commissions of WHO? Has WHO become an instrument to confuse and keep people in perpetual fear? Why so perturbed of the most mild and fast spreading virus, Omicron, as far as we know, and even the inventor who is regarded as the inventor, detector of the Omicron variant in South Africa, Dr. Angelini Coetzee, she has come to this channel. She has quite categorically said that it is very mild. It is so mild and insignificant that most of the people are not aware of it. And it passes off without any specific treatment, without even any upper and lower respiratory tract infections. Is she telling lie? She also warned us that she was told, she was told not to say that Omicron is mild in elsewhere other than South Africa. So she has no right to say how Omicron is lethal in other parts of the world. That is how she was censored. Then why unperturbed on growing evidence of toxicity of vaccine due to spike proteins? So who is so concerned about the health of the people, about the good of the people, that this mild and least lethal Omicron variant is causing a knee-jerk reaction? They're telling the people that there is no sense of complacency. It will again sweep across the world. That much concern is there. But where is the concern of who when there are growing evidences of toxicity of vaccines due to the spike proteins? Spike proteins was presumed to produce immunogenic response, let alone the immunogenic response. Spike proteins are harmful itself. How are they having toxic effect on our body? There are some researches that are enlightening us on this aspect. One such was published in Viruses Journal. It warned us that the SARS-CoV-2 spike protein impairs DNA damage repair. This is very important. When you get infected by some virus invades the healthy cells, hijack the machineries, especially the nucleus, and they damage the DNA repair mechanism, because by repairing the damaged DNA, we get recovered. If this system is jeopardized, virus takes toll of our body and even kill us. So that is what spike protein is doing. It is causing DNA damage repair. Very shocking, very revealing. And they concluded in their report that our findings reveal a potential molecular mechanism by which the spike protein might impede adaptive immunity and underscore the potential side effect of full-length spike-based vaccines. They have clearly said about it, the spike-based vaccines. If it impairs our adaptive immunity, we may not be killed due to the COVID-19 only, we maybe get killed by other viruses also, because it will jeopardize our immune system by impeding the adaptive immunity. Another very stunning, very shocking revelations was there in a mainstream cardiological journal. I have spoken about it to many of my cardiology friends. Even they were vaccine supporter, they endorsed vaccine in spite of the fact that they were very much concerned about this, and they admitted that it is a piece of information that we should give some concern. We should be concerned about it. This is a really matter of concern. What does it say? It says that mRNA vaccines dramatically increase the inflammation of endothelium and T cell infiltration of cardiac muscle may account for observation of increased thrombosis, cardiomyopathy, and other vascular events following vaccinations. So right from attacking the arterial wall, the arteries of the heart, and the muscle of the heart, all three can be damaged by the spike proteins. This was said by Circulation Journal, widely respected and recognized by the practicing cardiologists and cardiovascular surgeons. Again, another matter of concern about the menstrual changes after COVID-19 vaccinations. It is quite shameful that many of our esteemed gynecologists, who are known for their good work and clinical skill, but they refuse to accept the fact that many women are suffering from this problem following vaccinations. They are having menstrual irregularities. It is not one and off cases. It is happening. It is being reported. Even it was reported in journals, in newspapers like Indian Express also. And this is not something that can be brushed aside. We should look at it. That is what British Medical Journal said, that the link between the menstrual changes after COVID-19 vaccination is plausible and should be looked at, should be investigated properly. Another concern is about the cancer. No, it was not hearsay. It was not a myth. It was revealed by the rigorous researches by a Swiss policy research team. They have shown in their report that in up to 50% of vaccines, COVID vaccines can induce a temporary immune suppression and immune dysregulation that may last about a week or possibly longer. And can COVID vaccines cause cancer? What is the answer? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. There is no evidence that COVID vaccines themselves are carcinogenic. They may not be itself themselves are carcinogenic, but they can accelerate the process of cancer development. So we do not know whether who is in slumber, when will it rise. It is very much perturbed about the fictitious spread of Omicron virus, but they don't feel that they have duty to inform the people of the world about this. This is problematic.
They will create these problems. All of a sudden it
Okay.
appears.
Another. Just sorry for this interruption.
No, just remove that and then you speak.
Suddenly, yes.
Now you go through.
And one more damning report has come from European Journal of Epidemiology. Oh, they are creating some problems.
They will
European
create.
European Journal of Epidemiology. This report clearly shows that this vaccination didn't prevent the spread of infection. Rather, there was a reverse correlation. It showed that wherever there is the high rate of vaccination, it was accompanied by the high rates of infections, resurgence of infections, and high number of hospitalization and deaths. In the concluding part of the report, they said that the rate of hospitalization death shot up from 0.01 to 9%, and from 0 to 15.1%. Quite stunning. But
Stunning, right?
why is DG of WHO, Director General of WHO, not making the world aware of it? Why is he falsely fueling the unsubstantiated idea of epidemic of unvaccinated? This is a question should be asked by everyone on this earth to this Director General of WHO. We know he is a non-medical person. He may not have any idea what is going on. He may not have ability to make sense of it, but there are so many scholar people around him. They should make him aware.
Even they are coming out with statements
Yes.
about vaccine, immuno-escape. Then how is that this
Yes.
has escaped? This is a big exposure of this show. The data from European Magazine of Epidemiology clearly stated,
European Journal of Epidemiology.
European
Either they denounce it or they accept it. It is in the public domain.
it is in the
Either
public
they denounce
domain
it
or
or
accept
they
it.
accept it.
Very simple and clear.
They should not play hide and seek. There is no scope of playing hide and seek because they have already told that it is a public health emergency. Are
Can you
they
revert
playing?
back to that? Can you revert back to that slide once again? Because that is a
Which
big
one?
exposure, I think. The earlier slide. Yeah, this is a big exposure here on your screen. European Journal of Epidemiology clearly stating it. It is in the public domain. Very clearly stating that the infectious rate and deaths have really gone up by 0.01 to 9% and 0 to 15.1% between January to May 2021 in the rates of hospitalization and deaths respectively amongst the fully vaccinated. Here is a big exposure now. What will World Health Organization or United Nations has to say? All the federal governments, all the state governments, provincial governments across the world, including all political parties, all scientific bodies, including Indian Council of Medical Research to DCGI, in every country, now you are responsible. How is that you are hiding such a big report? It is in the public domain. It is in the public domain, as we have been showing you how these adverse effects have been influencing otherwise healthy people. Everything is in the public domain. How is that you are silent and again propagating booster doses so much when harm is being done? And it is very clear the rate of infection and deaths are happening in only those fully vaccinated countries. Omicron spread only through vaccinated. Yes, sir.
Yes. For Hindi speaking, you can also get it translated later.
Yeah. वही लगा दीजिए. First that one, क्योंकि that is the earlier one, डॉक्टर जी.
Yes.
हर एक नागरिक को ये जानने की जरूरत है, क्योंकि यूरोपियन जर्नल ऑफ एपिडेमियोलॉजी ने खासकर ये ऐसे एक पेपर को आज पब्लिक डोमेन में रखा है, जहां से ये पता चलता है कि हमको जनवरी टू मई 2021 के दरमियान जो भी इन्फेक्शंस और जो भी जानलेवा वैक्सीन के वजह से हुआ है वो 0.01 to 9% और 0 to 15.1%. इतनी ज्यादा सी जो हमारे व्याप्ति हो गई है कोरोना की. किन में हुआ ये? जो टीकाएं लगाए हैं उनमें ये दरमियान 0.01% से लेके 15% जो है ये इन्फेक्शन की व्याप्ति हुई, साथ ही साथ वो जानलेवा बना. इतनी बड़ी खबर कैसे ये वर्ल्ड हेल्थ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हो या हमारे केंद्र राष्ट्र सरकार हो या देश में हर एक सरकार के रीति नीति या उनके आंक इस पे क्यों नहीं आए, यही बड़ा सवाल है. इसको नजरअंदाज करते हुए आज ओमिक्रॉन भी आपको मालूम है, जिसको भी टीका लगाया गया उन्हीं को परमिशन है एक देश से दूसरे देश जाने की, उन्हीं के द्वारा ओमिक्रॉन कोने कोने में पहुंचा या नहीं. ऐसे दरमियान में ये बड़ी खबर है आज. ऐसे रिपोर्ट इतनी आधार के साथ इसको नजरअंदाज क्यों किया है? क्या ये हमारे जीवन के साथ खिलवाड़ नहीं है? इसीलिए नागरिक समझदार बनो और अपने आप को बचाने की, अपने परिवार को बचाने की अथवा समाज को बचाने की जो भी है आपके हाथ में है, क्योंकि ये जो वायरस जो है जानलेवा नहीं है, कोरोना हो या आज का अभी ओमाइक्रॉन, लेकिन वैक्सीनेशन के बाद जिस तरह जानलेवा हो रहा, जिस तरह वायरस व्याप्ति हो रहा, आपके सामने आंकड़ों के साथ, आधार के साथ, आप ही सोचिए, आप ही सोचिए। यस सर।
Thank you. So there is another flip-flop of WHO regarding the mandatory vaccinations. It is very concerning because from the days of Nuremberg Code, the medical research and applications or any interventions were governed by the principle that it should be accompanied by or should be preceded by free informed consent. It clearly says, Article 6.1 of UNESCO Guidelines for Bioethics and Human Rights clearly said that no medical interventions, be it therapeutic, diagnostic, or preventive, should be imposed on a person without prior free informed consent. But here they are trying to develop a false narrative of animosity, antagonism between the individual right and the community good. It is a very sinister design to put these two things in hostile, mutually hostile relations. That is not the case. And in this way, they want to do away with the informed consent. So we should raise our voice to defend the provision of informed consent, because informed consent is the bedrock of all medical researches, not only researches, any medical interventions. In some other channels, some doctors are arguing against me that it is applicable for medical researches. But for them and for all, it must be clarified that informed consent applies not only to researches, but any kind of medical interventions. That is quite clear. And these very basics of the medical applications, medical sciences, researches and interventions is being undermined by the flip-flop of hope. So again, as promised in the initial part of my talk, that I will tell something about hopes, the hopes of ray of hopes which are on the horizon. I think you can guess it is the country of rising sun. It is Japan. And Japan was regarded as the evil force in the World War II. But ironically, in this tumultuous time of history, Japan is again putting a shining example before us how to see. Japan is the country of rising sun in darkest time of vaccine question. How? The Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare Japan, they have categorically informed the people. They have proclaimed that this is the consent to vaccinations. Please carefully note that what is the difference between their declaration regarding consent to vaccinations and what is there in our country. Our government of India has clearly said that, categorically said time and again, it submitted to the court itself that the vaccine is voluntary, not mandatory. But we have seen to our dismay that many local authorities, many private and public offices are imposing vaccine mandate on their employees, students. How? Has there been a loophole? Was there any gray side left behind? Some people are taking advantage of that. We should plug that hole. We should reformulate, redefine the vaccination, the provision of vaccination in such a way that no one can be coerced to get vaccinated. That safeguard must be there in the declaration on the part of the government. That is what is shown by Japan government. They clearly said that COVID-19 vaccination is not compulsory or mandatory. Vaccination will be given only with the consent of the person. That is a very important thing. Only with the consent of the person to be vaccinated. After the information provided, that's it also very essential part of it. Informed consent has got two parts. One is the information, another is the consent. Consent must be preceded by the adequate information in the language that the person understands. So it is quite clear. Please get vaccinated of your own decision. No one can influence your decision by any means by saying that this vaccine is 110% safe, this vaccine is 200% safe, I have taken it in live show, you take it. No. This is unethical from public health viewpoint. So please get vaccinated of your own decision, understanding both the effectiveness in preventing infectious disease and the risk of side effect. That should be clearly mentioned in the information sheet. No vaccination will be given without consent. That is another essential part. That no vaccination will be given without consent. What we are seeing in our country. People are thronging the vaccination center and they are getting vaccinated. They are just putting their name in some CoWIN or like that. But where is the consent? Do these vaccine givers, these health workers care about any consent? No, they do not, because they do not have any they do not have any operational manual. They do not have any guidance from the government. There is no clear strategy about it. That is the false line. Please do not force anyone in your workplace or those who around you to be vaccinated. A clear message to those who are imposing this mandate illegally on some people, on the vulnerable people who may afraid of losing their jobs, losing their some entitlements. Even some people are fearing that they would not get ration. They would not get these and that privileges. Driven by that fear, people are taking vaccines. So our government should be asked, should be urged to follow the example of Japan. In this clear manner, please issue the this directive on vaccination. So, what could be the way forward to get out of this mess? So, we should not limit our discussion in the negative. we should be affirmative also. There should not be any false narrative like vaccine equity or vaccine nationalism. This is a false fabricated narrative. We need public health nationalism. We need public health equity. It means equal emphasis on all public health concerns, on all endemic killer diseases, not running after the particular disease, not running after a particular vaccine. Are we aware that vaccination of children are getting neglected? Are we aware that the maternal and child health care are getting hampered by this one-sided view of public health? Are we aware that many children are dying due to Japanese encephalitis in northern part of India? We have vaccines against Japanese encephalitis. We have vaccine against typhoid, but the children are dying. These deaths could have been provided if we have real equity in our public health. And we should get rid of this term like vaccine nationalism. It is a false and fabricated narrative. We need public health nationalism. It means we are a tropical country. We know the endemicity of the diseases. We know the disease burden and death burden. We know the characteristics of diagnosis. We know it how to deal with this disease far better than Dr. Fauci and like. Why should we be influenced by these people who have very little idea of our country? Why should we be misguided by these foreign regulators like CDC and WHO? Rather, we should urge our authorities, our government, to insulate our public health system from this unnecessary interference. We should formulate our own public health strategy. So, bottom line is, no interference, no question. Independent public health system should be based on scientific, rational, informed choice and informed consent. At the end of my talk, I want to share with the viewers a poster which is going around in some villages and suburbs around Kolkata. It says, healthcare is a human right. Thank you.
Wonderful. Wow. What a beautiful way of narration. प्रजा आरोग्य का मतलब ने समझाया आज हमारे डॉक्टर गौतम दा ने, बहुत खूबी के साथ, आधार के साथ। अब आप ही सोचो, कोरोना क्या जानलेवा है? अगर जानलेवा नहीं है तो हम हजारों करोड़, लाखों करोड़ की हमारी पैसा, हमारे टैक्सेस के पैसा ये वैक्सीन, टीका के मैन्युफैक्चर के ऊपर क्यों लगा रहे हम? आप सोचिए। ये वैक्सीन इक्विटी, वैक्सीन नेशनलिज्म और जो भी आप कंट्री को जाएंगे आपको 2 टीका की जरूरत, ये सब गलत है। इसको हम नकारना है। कैसे नकारेंगे? हमारे देश में हालात क्या है, हम किस तरह जी रहे हैं, यहाँ पर किस तरह की रोग हमें बाधित करते हैं, हम पीड़ित होते हैं, क्या हम सही तौर पर इनके ऊपर नजर डाले हैं क्या? ये जो पैसा है हम ऐसे रोग जो जानलेवा है हम इसके ऊपर खर्च कर रहे हैं क्या? यही WHO, वर्ल्ड हेल्थ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन छुपे छुपे यही ने बताया, कोरोना के वजह से ट्यूबरकुलोसिस और मलेरिया को हम नजरअंदाज किए, 40% के ऊपर हम उसको बिना डिटेक्ट करे छोड़ दिए। क्या हम ये नहीं मानते कि जो भी हम दिखाए जा रहा कोरोना के नाम पे, ये सब ट्यूबरकुलोसिस हो, मलेरिया हो, वायरल एन्केफेलाइटिस का डेथ्स हो या नहीं? सरकार को हम डाटा बताइए, आधार बताइए, कोरोना ये डेथ सही भी कोरोना के साथ हुए हैं क्या? आज तक सरकार बात नहीं करता और हर कोई पार्टी, हर कोई पॉलिटिकल पार्टी आज राजनीति जो है कोई बात नहीं करता। आज यही गलत है। हम यही चाहते हैं कि राजनीतिक पार्टियां आप अपने आंख और अपने इससे सुनिए, देखिए और प्रजा की रक्षा करिए। ये लोगों की, प्रजा की आरोग्य है। अगर बिना प्रजा समाचार हो उनके पास, बिना प्रजा का उस रोग के बारे में समाचार हो, कैसे वो फैसले ले सकता? क्योंकि जिस तरह आज बताया गया, इंफॉर्मेशन, समाचार देना एक हक है और इन्फॉर्म्ड कंसेंट, ऐसे समाचार हर एक नागरिक के पास आने के बाद वो नागरिक की सोच बढ़ेगी, क्या हम ये चिकित्सा ले सकते या ये निवारण ले सकते या हम कुछ नहीं ले सकते? ये कब होगा? जब उसके पास एक समाचार हो, वैज्ञानिक परक समाचार, आधार भरित समाचार, सही और सच्चा समाचार जब हर एक नागरिक, हर एक पौर के पास अगर होता, तभी वो एक अच्छी सी एक डिसीजन हम क्या बोलते हैं, वो इन्फॉर्म्ड कंसेंट जो बोलते हैं हम, अपनी मर्जी से हाँ कहने का, अपनी मर्जी से हम हाँ कहने का, चिकित्सा हो या निवारण हो, जो कुछ भी है, या ना लेने की भी जानकारी, सही जानकारी, वैज्ञानिक जानकारी, सबको जानकारी होने के बाद ही हाँ या नहीं, मैं समझने के बाद ही मैं हाँ या नहीं कह सकता हूँ। ये मेरा हक है। ऐसे हक को केवल मीडिया के बदौलत पर, फार्मेसी और इंश्योरेंस की बदौलत पर, राजनीति दलों की बदौलत पर आज आप ये बड़ी साजिश के साथ हमारे ऊपर टोक रहे हैं आप। ये गलत है, ये सरासर हमारे हक का उल्लंघन है। ये हक का उल्लंघन हमको नहीं सहनीय है, क्योंकि कोरोना जानलेवा नहीं है, लेकिन टीका जो है जानलेवा बन सकता। आधार के साथ आपके उबर के आपके सामने आज आया है। और ये भी है, यूएस हो या यूरोप में, क्या वहां मच्छर हो गए? क्या हमारे फ्लाइज वहां हो गए? क्या वहां टीबी है? वहां मलेरिया है? क्या वहां टाइफाइड है? जानलेवा जो हमारे देश में है, ऐसे कोई भी रोग वहां नहीं। लेकिन हम जो है उनकी बदौलत, जो वर्ल्ड हेल्थ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन या यूएस सीडीसी एफडीए, वो उनकी स्टैंप लेके आज हमारे प्रजा आरोग्य उनके हाथ में लगाना कहां तक सही है? आप ही पहुंचिए, जानकार हो जाइए, चौकन्य हो जाइए और चैतन्य हो जाइए, ताकि आप एक अच्छी सी एक डिसीजन आप ही ले सके, ताकि आप खुद को बचा सके, आपके परिवार को, समाज को, तद्वारा अपने देश और विदेश को बचाने की जो है आपके हाथ में ही है। इसीलिए हम निरंतर प्रजा के दृष्टि में, प्रजा के हित में, प्रजा के हक के लिए और प्रजा आरोग्य के लिए ऐसे शोज और अच्छे से अतिथियों के साथ, आधार के साथ, वैज्ञान के जो भी मुद्दे हैं, वैज्ञानिक विज्ञान के साथ, आधार के साथ, संविधान के साथ, कानून के तौर पर निरंतर आपको आपके पास ऐसा शो बनाते रहेंगे, ताकि आप समझदार बने, हकदार बने, ताकि ये अच्छी सी एक डिसीजन आप ले सके। और ये शो जो है कल सिटीजन्स डॉक्टर TSPR चैनल 8 बजे पुनः प्रसारण होगा। The same show will be re-telecasted on Citizens Dr. TSPR channel at 8 p.m. tomorrow. That means Tuesday, 21st. There is a heavy demand. People have been calling. So we are going to re-telecast the same show tomorrow on Citizens Dr. TSPR channel. बहुखूबी आप डॉक्टर TSPR चैनल हो, सिटीजन्स डॉक्टर TSPR चैनल, एनवायरमेंट पीपल डॉक्टर TSPR चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए, ये लिंक आप शेयर कीजिए और आप सपोर्ट कीजिए। आपके सपोर्ट के बिना डॉक्टर TSPR चैनल्स आगे नहीं बढ़ सकता, क्योंकि हम प्रजा हित में जाएंगे, ना किसी के खिलाफ या किसी को दूसरी तरह से ये चैनल्स काम नहीं करेगा। केवल कानून, हक के दौर पर आधार के साथ ये चैनल चलेगा, आगे बढ़ेगा। तो आप ब्लेस कीजिए, काइंडली सपोर्ट डॉक्टर TSPR चैनल, सिटीजन डॉक्टर TSPR चैनल्स, एनवायरमेंट डॉक्टर TSPR चैनल्स in larger public interest, because we clearly, with honorable guests like Dr. Gautam Das and scores of others, we try to bring out shows based on rule of law, constitution, invoking evidential act, that too in larger public interest, that too when public health matters, nothing else matters for us, because we are dealing with lives and livelihoods, not machines. Hope you understand and appreciate. So tomorrow you have a re-telecast on Citizens Dr. TSPR channel at 8 p.m. Do watch, share it amongst, so that everyone will become informed, truly informed, so that that much necessary consent will be there from your own will after you understand it. So take care. Wonderful, sir. One of the best presentations. Thanks a lot. Take care and good night for you and
Good night.
for all Indians. Sukha Nidra Shubharatri. And for the world over, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Take care. Do support Dr. TSPR channels. We come out with a flyer with mobile number, everything, so that if you have anything, you are most welcome to join, as we have been requesting Aam Aadmi Party, our Honorable Chief Minister of Delhi, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, likewise all political parties. Now you have to understand, everything has been exposed through this show. Whether you will be towards public health side or those who are trying to create fear psychosis, when they could change the narration of what is vaccination to suit their business interests at the cost of lives and livelihoods. The take is yours. Bye, sir.
Bye.
Hello.